Hey everyone, Coach Micah here and welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we took a look at the new LD resolution for the first part of the upcoming season, and we did a 20-minute drill in which, using no internet, we took the resolution and just wrote a case, thought of some ideas. I had not looked into the resolution one bit leading up to that video, so that was the first time I had even talked out loud about the resolution or explained any of my thoughts. For today's video, I'm actually going to be using the internet, and it's going to be a lot less formal. Rather, almost in a podcast style, you're going to be watching and hopefully researching along with me as we get started for the summer and getting ready to write cases and compile information and things like that. Like I said, it's going to be less formal. You're basically going to see my screen at all times as I show you how I prepare for resolutions, and of course a lot of the information that you will watch is going to be in the document that I will once again release. Last year I released a resolutional analysis document, kind of giving the ins and outs of the resolution and things to consider, and then put that on my Patreon page for Stoa families to invest in. I'll be doing that again this year, but this video is going to go along with it because, of course, what better way to do preparation than with a coach? Now, obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're only going to see the first 5 or 10 minutes or so, but if you want to see the full session, you will have to go to my Patreon page. The link will be in the description. I really appreciate your support in advance. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the preparation. This video, the full one, will be about an hour long. So if you have the time to set aside an hour for studying or really getting in the mindset of this resolution, then feel free to do that with me right now. And let's just get to work. Let's just get straight into it. What do we mean by liberty? So I also like to brainstorm, so let's turn this back off. So what is liberty? What does it mean that we ought to do something? How do you prioritize liberty over order? And liberty and order, are they goals? Are they I don't think they're verbs. I think they're an end goal. You want there to be liberty. They're a description of a societal, not gathering. They describe how society works. So how do you prioritize a goal or description? Right. What is order? How much conflict is significant enough to be considered prioritized? No. Is this resolution mutually exclusive? And as I keep coming up with questions, I'll, once again put them down here. So let's look at liberty. So what is liberty? Besides the insurance. The state of being free from oppressive restrictions or control by authority on one's ways of life, behavior, and political views. Okay. I just drank an energy drink, so I should be good here in a second. Obviously, with our definitions, there's a lot of them. Merriam-Webster is always good. Cambridge Dictionary. Although with a philosophical resolution like this, you might want to find a definition that comes from maybe a university or some sort of other source that's beyond a dictionary. Like maybe they've written a paper on what the idea of liberty really means. So like, for example, Northwood University. we would say, you know, most of us use the words freedom and liberty as synonyms, though the freedom to send their children to whatever school they think best probably sounds bad, and parents should have the liberty to ... However, when we start to think about that particular statement, the difference between the two words becomes apparent. Okay, great. So now we have the difference between liberty and freedom and how they are different. And that's going to be, I think, a point of contention. So let's go back over here. Are liberty and freedom synonyms? Are they synonymous? According to, and then I also like to, of course, have a link here. So we're going to come back to this. Like that. Alrighty. Although I don't think this gives much information, so that might not work as well as I wanted it to. All right, let's go back. So Britannica is also a really good one because it kind of goes into depth a little bit more. There's also a different type of liberty, so civil liberty, right? Can we narrow down the resolution to different types of liberty? Right, can we narrow down the resolution to different types of liberty? How many different types of liberty are there? And I follow rabbit trails. I never force my brain unless I'm specifically trying to get a goal done that is very specific. I just don't force my brain to do it. I'm gonna go where my brain goes, and you're gonna see how my train of thought flows. And sometimes I just immediately forget what I'm going to do. So how many different types of liberty are there? 6 primary types. Although this one says 7 and this one says 5 human rights. Okay, so where is this getting from? Explain different types of liberty. What is different liberty? Exploring the 5 from Philosophy Institute. Okay, maybe not that for right now. Okay, negative liberty, freedom from external restraint or coercion. Positive liberty, the actual capacity and power to act upon your free will and achieve your potential. So there's 2 different dimensions of liberty as well as the categories of liberty. And this is also according to Philo or whatever. Okay, let's see what this Philo site is right here. Oh, okay, it's a tutoring platform. I want an actual source. Philosophy Institute. Positive and Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy is really good. They have a lot of information. I really like that source. Okay, so we're going to see that here. Let's do what are the 2 dimensions of liberty. Great. And then we'll have that here. Oh, no, it's a suggestion. I want this. Okay. Positive and negative liberty. A lot of this stuff, remember, you only have 13 minutes in an LD round to actually get your ideas out. And so while it might be helpful to understand what the different types of liberty are and stuff like that, and kind of have a background knowledge, that'll give you the ability to think more critically as your opponents come up and bring arguments against your case. And you'll have the ability to attack them because you know more than they do. It's not absolutely necessary to have a giant philosophical understanding. We're just doing this because we're just trying to gather information. Like I said, until this point and until the video I had made, I have not done any computer research on this topic. So I want to just get in as much as I can to give you guys a starting point, as you, of course, are going to prep a lot more than I will as you're getting ready for the competition. And if you ever want help prepping, by the way, and you want to run some ideas, you want to see the caveats of your ideas, then don't hesitate to reach out to me, coachmikeideas@gmail.com. I am happy to help you out. Anyways, let's get back to what we were doing before. So we were just looking up the different types of liberty. So now I'm going to go over here. Any U.S. legal forms. So this is going to help us. The fundamental right of individuals to exercise their freedoms as protected by the Constitution and natural law. So this in particular gives different examples. Okay. That's it. You have reached the end of the free portion of this video. And let me just say, if this was helpful, then you're really going to enjoy the full version, especially because I found a couple sources that are just amazing and really help us to understand the conflict of this debate. And those are also available with the video. So make sure you check that out on my Patreon page. The link will be in the description. And it is very reasonable for the amount of research that we're doing in this video, as well as the resources that are available to you because of this video. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. You can forego your cup of coffee today to support myself, and I would really appreciate that. And of course, to receive good information that will help you brainstorm case writing, which we will do in future videos as well, by the way. Make sure that you check out my Patreon page and keep your eyes on that, because I will soon be releasing yet another full-length video on how to decipher your ballots. Once again, the free version available here on YouTube. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, then I would appreciate a subscription and a like on today's video. That way you can keep getting recommended these videos. I have upgraded my system substantially, and I can basically just pump out these videos a lot faster. It'll be easier to do so, which I'm really excited for. Anyways, thank you so much for your patronage. I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.